Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a few DC updates for you today, including things from the Batman, a new cast member for the Batman also, and something fishy about Henry Cavill and Superman, including the Snyder Cut as well. Also, someone from a while back has finally returned to share one more comment about Geoff Johns. But before all that, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show, Cosney, and I think you'll probably tell me in the chat, in the comments, how to really pronounce your name, so I apologize in advance, but thank you so much for being the newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show, including all the members here of the Ping Pong Flix Show. You are literally the lifeline of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to the members here. Thank you so much to the subscribers for subscribing in and watching my daily DC content every single day. Also, just for a little thing is that I've got some new shirt merchandise designs all on the bottom. Check it out. If you like hot dogs, there's some great designs there for you to wear. All right, now on to the show. The first topic of the day is the Batman is also filming in Liverpool. Now, I told you yesterday that the Batman was going to move its production over to Chicago, but I guess before that, or at least maybe in the same time, they are going to film in Liverpool. This is coming off from Radio City News. It's confirmed that filming on the new Batman movie in Liverpool will take place from Monday 12th October to Friday, 16th of October, and around St. George's Plateau area. The filming was due to start back in March, but was postponed due to lockdown. Robert Pattinson is starring as Batman. So I'm glad he's back. I'm glad to see him. We're probably going to get a lot more behind the scenes shots of Robert Pattinson in the suit, or at least a stuntman, depending if it's an action scene, but we'll probably see a lot more, and maybe even more of the villains, other villains this time around, right? And maybe one of those people we're going to see on the set of the Batman is Barry Keoghan. Barry Keoghan joins the cast of the Batman, and this is interesting, and I'll get to where we actually found this out. Or maybe I'll show you right now. It was actually found on the YouTube trailer, the Batman DC fandom teaser. If you go down in the description, it says right there, Barry Keoghan from Dunkirk as Officer Stanley Merkel. How did we miss that? Or at least how did the bloggers miss that? Because they finally saw it today and decided to share that today. This is coming from Heroic Hollywood. The Eternal star Barry Keoghan joins the cast of Matt Reeves' The Batman. The cast of Matt Reeves' The Batman continues to grow with the addition of the Eternal star. A Warner Brothers press release has revealed that the Eternal star Barry Keoghan has joined the cast of The Batman. The highly anticipated DC Comics movie is being directed by Matt Reeves. According to the press release, Keoghan is playing a character known as Officer Stanley Merkel. In the pages of DC Comics, Stanley Merkel was the original partner of Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon, played by Westworld star Jeffrey Wright in The Batman. Created by Frank Miller, Stanley made his first appearance in 1987's Batman number 405. He was killed by Sophia Falcone, spoilers, in the Batman Dark Victory storyline. So I don't know if that's still going to happen or not, but it does appear that it's possible, because he is now cast in the Batman, that we might actually get to see him also in the series, right? The HBO Max series, Gotham City Police. I think it's called GCPD, or at least a police procedural set in Gotham City with maybe, Commissioner Gordon and Barry Keoghan. So that's exciting for Batman fans who know this character very well, and also exciting for people who have seen him in Dunkirk. I liked him in Dunkirk, and he's also going to be in the Eternals too, so he's both doing Marvel and DC. That happens, no worries. So that's pretty exciting for fans of the Batman. All right, next up is the other guy. This is coming from comicbook.com. Man of Steel is finally coming to HBO Max October 1st. It was like one of the movies that was not on HBO Max. Like, you literally have Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition on HBO Max, and we're going to have Zack Snyder's Justice League. So we're like, well, where's the other movie? Where's the one that started all, Man of Steel? So if you haven't, if you haven't got to watch it yet, you got HBO Max, do yourself a favor and watch Man of Steel. And when it comes out on HBO Max, do yourselves a favor anyway. Support it. Watch Man of Steel on HBO Max October 1st. So I can't wait. I can't wait for next year when you get to see Man of Steel, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League right next to it as soon as they take off the other Justice League kind of, out of the way, and so we'll get the entire trilogy and maybe room for more later on. So that's exciting. Man of Steel heads to HBO Max. Since we're talking about, Henry Cavill, this is an exclusive from Collider.com. I'll read to you what it says here. Frosty, of course, said this. Yesterday, we learned that Zack Snyder's new cut of Justice League, the Snyder Cut, is planning additional photography. Per a report in The Hollywood Reporter, the shoot is expected to see the return of Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Henry Cavill as Superman, and Ray Fisher as Cyborg. The report claimed that additional photography would take place in October and shoot for less than a week. While some of the report might be true, the part about Henry Cavill being involved sounds less likely. When Frosty, Steve Weintraub, spoke to Cavill for Enola Holmes shortly before the news about additional photography hit, I asked him point blank if he was shooting any new scenes for the Snyder Cut. This is what he had to say. Not shooting anything additional. No. It's all stuff that has been already done. Obviously, I don't know how things are going to evolve and change and adapt, depending on now a different length of movie and whatever may happen in post-production. Whatever lessons may be learned from what it is it 4 years since Justice League came out? 4 years worth of fan reaction. For me, I'm now just watching the party. Of course, even with Cavill saying he isn't doing any additional photography, things can change. But the part about him going to Los Angeles to shoot with Snyder seems extremely unlikely. Cavill is currently in London shooting The Witcher Season 2 for Netflix, and it's not wrapping anytime soon. In addition, with all the COVID protocols in place and the United Kingdom making people quarantine when they arrive in the country for 14 days, there is no way for Cavill to fly to Los Angeles and not have it seriously impact The Witcher production. Also, with Cavill, the series lead, I'm sure he is doing everything he can to minimize his risk of getting COVID, which again means no air travel. So that's interesting. Well, that kind of really changes things now, right? So is Henry Cavill not filming Snyder Cut reshoots? I'm one of that. Right. Okay. So that is different from what yesterday The Hollywood Reporter was talking about, that he was filming additional photography. And so for a lot of people today, it kind of made people wonder, wait a minute, so was that a real hit piece? Like there was no new information. They just threw that in there to catch our attention. And that actually, in all honesty, it was a true hit piece to Ray Fisher and not actually happening. I'm shocked by that. But then again, like I said, I wonder why Zack Snyder never said anything. Like usually he hints at something. And you could still, in October, they could still literally come out, he could still literally come out and say, hey, I'm over here in the set, and here's Henry Cavill, and here's my buddy Ben and Gal. We got the new Trinity shot here, which would be so awesome to see again, have them reunited, and of course Ray Fisher is Cyborg too, and they're doing some wonderful scene. Amy Adams is here, Harry Lennox, whoever, right? And so I'm expecting that there is going to be additional photography, because that's what he said, right? This is what Zack Snyder said back then, a year ago, that there was going to be a scene with something cool with Batman, Superman, and Lois, or Martian Manhunter. Not sure yet, but there's going to be additional photography. He said this on the slate. That's our source, that there is definitely going to be additional photography. So what is up with that? Well, I'm wondering, when you go back to that article, and Steve Weintraub said it himself, that he asked Henry Cavill short moments before, and he doesn't explain how long before, right? How long before the report from the Hollywood Reporter came out, that he said, no, there's no additional photography. No, I'm not doing anything. So maybe Henry Cavill said, you know what? I am. He said, I'm not going to tell you. Maybe it's under NDA. Maybe I can't tell you if there's additional photography. Just like the Snyder Cut. He didn't even want to come out and say release the Snyder Cut. He pretty much played to say there is no Snyder Cut. Okay? Henry Cavill is a politician. He's going to do what his publicists, what his reps are telling him to do, saying, hush, hush, mum's the word, you can't say certain things. He is indeed that guy. He's that guy, right? He says it in a way, he's silent in a way, he does things in a way like a politician does, where he rewords it or talks around the subject and things like that. He's very good at that, very good. So sometimes I don't trust his word in a lot of instances, because he has been like that before, especially with the Snyder Cut, really roundabout, saying there is no Snyder Cut. He saw everything he saw, things like that. So I don't know what to say about that. And I'm thinking, hopefully, that if there is indeed a additional photography in October, we'll probably get to see it. Now, if he's in London, if he's in the UK shooting that, where Weintraub is saying that he's shooting Witcher, and in some interviews where he was talking, he did indeed say that, yeah, I'm here in shooting on the Witcher set right now as I'm doing this interview. What if the additional photography is actually in London? So if the additional photography is in London, that shouldn't have any problems. I think Ben and Gal and Ray could essentially get there 2 weeks early while Henry Cavill was doing his Witcher shoot. Then when Witcher is on a break, he'll go over maybe to a different lot in that Warner Brothers studio or wherever, and shoot Zack Snyder's Justice League for about a week or less, over a week, I think, was that what they said, and shoot his scenes for Superman. So there's still a possibility for that to happen if they are indeed going to shoot over at Warner Brothers lot in London instead. So that's also a possibility. Or the green screen approach. He shoots a little bit of green screen on that side. Ben and Gal shoots over there on LA, along with Ray Fisher on this side, and then they can combine or do things. We don't know what the extent of the shoots are. That's the problem. We don't know if that means they're shooting all together, they're having multiple scenes with them together, or is it different scenes? Each one has their own scene. I don't know. So we're going to take this with a grain of salt, including the actual shoot. But then again, it was the Hollywood Reporter, and this is Collider. I mean, in terms of which one is much more official, I want to say the Hollywood Reporter is a little bit more official. But then again, it could also have been a hit piece. So this is an interesting ordeal we have right now. And so we'll have to continue to wait and find out what happens next with that. Now, there's other things about Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill talks a little bit more on the Snyder Cut and Zack Snyder in an interview with Josh Horowitz. And this is what he actually said about that. Henry Cavill, on his experiences with Zack Snyder. Zack's attention to detail, his visual talent is extraordinary. The way he tells the stories, you see it through his visuals. He's such an exceptional crafter of moments, and I love him or hate him, everyone talks about him, about the movies that he makes. I've learned a lot from his version of storytelling in the sense that he relies on those moments very, very much, and he's so good at it. Zack's visuals are second to none, man. And he even talks a little bit about the actual Justice League. Henry Cavill on the Snyder Cut. Josh Horowitz says, did you shoot a 4-hour movie? Henry Cavill says this, I mean, I didn't. What happened to my character? Because, he was dead. He wasn't in there most of the time. So, of course, he didn't shoot the whole thing. But Josh says, well, was the script you saw like a 250-page script, though? And Henry Cavill said this, I mean, everything that he shot is what he's using. See, it's a very roundabout way of saying things. But there are cool things as we learn about the Snyder Cut. Of course, there are certain things that you can add. Let's talk about the opening of the movie, the invasion of the Earth and the gods defending the Earth, etc. Yeah, okay, that's all CGI part from a few characters, and so there's stuff there that you could build in post. So right there, he kind of just confirms that the opening, at least at that time, the opening of the movie would have been the invasion of Earth, gods defending the Earth from dark side, right? Or at that time, he probably saw Steppenwolf. But the opening of the movie was supposed to have been the invasion of the Earth scene. And he says you can spend $600 million on making CGI stuff. And so, yes, I'd say there's definitely a 4.5-hour movie there. It's in the can, plus the stuff we're going to craft and post now. I'm just so excited to see his vision realized. I think it's important that that vision is realized, whether you agree with it or not. It doesn't matter. It's a storyteller, a filmmaker's right to have their vision realized, especially he's got the advantage of hindsight now, so it's going to be even better. I just want to see a good movie, a series of good movies. So that's Henry Cavill on his reaction about the Snyder Cut and his thoughts on it. Like he said, roundabout way of saying things, but I love that reveal, that confirmation that the opening of the movie was the invasion of Earth. I wonder if it's still going to be that, or if Zack's going to change anything with that or not. I think he did mention in our when he dropped into the Real Emotion podcast that he said that the opening was going to be, his death, Superman's death, or was that after the invasion? We'll have to wait and see in 2021. Okay, but that's not the only question that are on people's minds, right? People want to know if Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Now, there was conversations since, the Culture Nerd had put out that article that they were already in the works, or their deal has been confirmed, which actually hasn't been confirmed yet because there is no official announcement either by the trades or Danny or Henry Cavill himself, but the same deal was being made months ago in May when the Snyder Cut was announced, right? And I had my own suspicions that he may have already said yes to the deal when Danny let him say the Snyder Cut, let him be on that watch party, right? For a long time, it's like she was really holding him back. She wanted him to get his Superman deal, and that he wanted him to be able to get all his contracts before even saying yes, or not even saying yes to the Snyder Cut at all. But something happened, and it seemed like she felt that, you know what, he's not going to come back unless I say yes to the Snyder Cut. And then maybe we can work on getting deals, right? Working on getting contracts. And a lot of you fans out there, viewers, have said that he may have already gotten to that time. It wasn't a new deal. He was already getting that deal back in May. So, and I thought about that and said, you're right. Why would he say yes? Why would Danny agree to the Snyder Cut unless on one condition, that he would be promised additional deals for him reprising his role as Superman? And you're right. He may have already gotten it in May. And we know Henry Cavill. He's a politician. Now, what is Henry Cavill's thoughts on Superman deal? He has been through many interviews in terms of Enola Holmes. Thank you for Enola Holmes. Now he cannot escape people asking him questions. But and there was several ones. But essentially, he kind of just doesn't want to answer that question and says, let's concentrate on Enola Holmes. One such example is from GQ. On GQ, the interviewer asked him a little bit about the Snyder Cut, right? So this is what they're talking about here. Cavill will again be seen as Superman in the famed Snyder Cut of Justice League. which is being released as a 4-episode miniseries on HBO Max next year. The Hollywood Reporter even reporting that most of the main cast, including Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck's Batman, and Cavill Superman, will be filming additional shoots from next month. But Cavill pours cold water on this. They are doing their own thing out there, putting the movie together from the footage they shot. He says, when I ask if Snyder has been in touch, I've not been in comms with them about it. Now, put a preface on that is that all these interviews, by the way, were prior to the Hollywood Reporter that came out yesterday, right? They've been sitting on these questions. They've been sitting on these interviews because they had to wait until Enola Holmes came out. So these are old interviews, and so like I said, anything has happened from those interviews till now. So make no mistake, there has been some time between these questions and the announcement yesterday. Just letting you know that. Though he didn't take part in any reshoots, other reports that surfaced just before we spoke suggested Cavill had recently signed a new 3-film deal with Warner Bros. To reprise his Superman role after Cavill himself pitched a new storyline. Is there any truth to the rumors? Well, I think it's important that this should be about Enola Holmes, Henry Cavill says, which you will notice isn't exactly a no. And it's despite the fact Cavill has been more than willing to discuss subjects such as Warhammer figures, gaming PCs, The Witcher, baking, and the Snyder Cut of Justice League. That sounds very much, as I say, like a way of saying no comment without actually denying it. He grins slightly. I said what I said. So, what can we gather from that GQ magazine in terms of Henry Cavill talking about returning? Like I said, you guys may be right. This dude right here might have already signed the damn thing in May. And that's fantastic. And it's fantastic. I am so excited. And like I said, he's a politician. He didn't deny it. I mean, he didn't say yes either, but I'm still waiting for official confirmation. But for him to, in a way, kind of do like that slight grin, I said what I said. It makes you wonder. I don't know. He's always been like, he loves those rumors out there because it hypes him up and actually likes the conversation to go out there. So it might be his way of playing games with that and trying to get the conversation going about that and kind of pressuring the studio to confirm or to acknowledge or anything like that. So I'm that's still in the back of my mind from other interviews from before. But hey, that's the one thing that you guys have said, and that I've been thinking as well, even back when the announcement came, was that there's a reason why he said yes to the Snyder Cut, right? There's got to be a reason why he said yes to the Snyder Cut. When he wasn't getting any movies, he wasn't getting a shot at Superman, I think Danny Garcia said, I think this is your shot to get Superman back. So why don't you go say yes to Snyder Cut, and then we'll get our deal. So, hey, that I'm optimistic about that, and I can't wait to see him fly again. Whether it's just Justice League or multi-film deals. Back in May. Oh, my God. All right, so the next thing is in regards to Geoff Johns situation. Geoff Johns controversy is still in the air. There's still things that are going on with that. But a certain person has come out and shared something new about Geoff Johns. I guess so, but maybe adds to it, or at least can comment about that. Diane Nelson returns to add to Geoff Johns' controversy. Now, you may remember this comment she had back then before she left Twitter. She said the former DC Entertainment president, Diane Nelson, referred to Geoff Johns as nobody of mine. Right? So remember that comment, but she didn't elaborate. She never talked about it more. And then from then on, she was really supporting Zack Snyder, really supporting Snyder Cut. She was absolutely happy that Zack Snyder got his movie or series rather, and getting to do what he needed to do. Well, today she came out of the blue and also commented on it some more. In a tweet from Josh at Atticus X Prime says, all the comic writers who are usually very opinionated when Zack is trending but are silent when it comes to Geoff Johns being an abuser, where y'all at? And someone replied to this, says, remember, it didn't happen to them, so it doesn't matter. Well, Diane Nelson said today, oh, it happened to them. Oh, it happened to plenty of them. It happened to plenty of them. Right? So, oh my God. Well, it seems like Geoff Johns was also doing similar things over at DC Comics to the writers and artists, maybe, I don't know, over there in DC Comics. And that's why Diane Nelson says he's no friend of mine. To add to that, she even liked this tweet from Not Isaac at Star Turtle 55. Geoff Johns could have remained a really well-respected comic writer, but no, he had to go and be SHITTY, big shot producer who didn't care about the well-being of the cast and crew. She liked that. Diane Nelson liked that. Now, shortly after all this, and people were responding to the tweets and acknowledging it and retweeting it and taking pictures of it, like myself, she disappeared again. She closed, deactivated her account, and went away once again. So either she just wanted to come in for this little moment, give her little 2 cents on a matter, and then leave, making us wonder if she would elaborate or not. In this case, I don't know. I mean, there's conspiracies online where they shut her up, but I don't think so. I think she just didn't want this. I think she really wants to have a quiet life. She was the former. It was during a time of frustration, during a time that she probably didn't like. And if Geoff Johns being that way, maybe he was that way to her as well. Maybe bullying her around, and she just doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. But I'm glad she gave her 2 cents on the matter, and I'm really eager to find out more on what happened. What happened? What happened? What did Geoff Johns do over on the Justice League reshoots, over at DC Comics? And it seems to be a wider spread, a wider type of thing. And I want to know why. Why, Diane Nelson? Why is he nobody of yours? I wonder why. So that is it for tonight. I want to thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Like I said, there's new t-shirt designs down below. Please go check it out if you would like to. And also, if you love this daily DC content of movies, shows, and video games, hopefully we're going to get more video games, please click the like, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.